First to review, I play a couple hours so you don't have to, for the free monthly PlayStation game in July of Alan Wake Remastered. Original game 2010, this one came out in 2021. Alan Wake is a thriller video game of an author writing a book that turns into real life that he sees himself writing on TVs in real life in the game, which he is narrating at all times that is split into chapters and recapped like a TV series. With this messy, complex premise, here's the real depth of the characters in this game. I'm a dick, and I think dick things, because I'm a dick. And that level of contrast is something you see throughout the entire game. This is your sprint, bruh? God damn, homie is an author, not an athlete. Jesus, but he's got some ups! There are certain elements of the game that are very well done and impressive, and then others that are horrific, and not in the way that the game is intending. What's really bad is primarily the acting, dialogue, and cutscenes through this game. Right off the rip, in a remastered game, you can see how out of sync the lips are of characters.
Let's act like we're on vacation. Go stand next to that old gentleman there.
Maybe I'll do that when you start moving your lips, Alice. Delivery of the lines are typically dull, or adversely way too moo, and the voice that you hear most frequently is that of Alan Wake, the main character, as he narrates the game, and it's maybe the worst aspect of the game. It's a direct monotonous reading, but the description of how he's feeling and what's happening is not outside of what's obvious.
Doc Nelson was the image of a small-town doctor. Sheriff Breaker had called him to the station to take a look at the cut in my head.
Okay. Which makes all the emotion and reaction feel disingenuous and bland, so you don't get any depth from the narration, and it instead detracts from the experience of the game. To talk about the antithesis of this, and probably the strength of the game, sound design is stupendous. It is used super simplexively to create uneasiness and suspense. There's plenty of impactful horror tones that are used very well to create the mood, and physiologically poke you and put you on end. This helps get you out of the trudging hard-to-tum-tum story and puts you into a spooky predicament. The combat system is simple with limited skill differentiation, but it's also smart and builds intensity through other ways by having the enemy and AI proximity always being fairly close but with low visibility, so the threat is near and something you have to react to quickly. You have to balance at least 2 dimensions of having the light and the flashlight to make them weakened, and then using the lethality of your actual weapons later. And although not very challenging, it remains compelling. Something I don't always enjoy is the priming of these fights. They'll often pan over to the enemy, and putting the enemy in focus instead of the peeper-all is less spooky. And if we're going for fear here, probably isn't the best play. The chatter of the enemy that's possessed and pursuing you is also pretty painful to listen to, mostly just distorted normoos of whatever occupation they have. I think the details detract from Alan Wake both as a story game and as a horror game, so it isn't tremendous as either of those. However, I feel like the genuine kind of fear and intensity is more established in those combat moments compared to the story actually grabbing you and being something that you're thrilled to uncover. With that being said, the true nightmare of this game is its dialogue and caffeine dependency.
Try the coffee. Just don't blame me when you fall in love, because it'll break your heart.
Oi, oi, oi. Gotta get this coffee thermos. See it shining. Shine bright like a thermos. Shine bright like a coffee thermos.
You should put some coffee on. It'll warm you up.
Oh my god, a fucking thermos.
I guess you're gonna need that coffee then. I'll go put it on.
Oh my god, coffee! Oh, let me fill up my thermos.
Great, thanks.
First, I have to look for more coffee. Oh, this is almost as hot as coffee.
Are you high?
What the fuck? Why is he just endlessly sprinting into that when I press circle? Oh my god, there's a coffee thermos down there. Oh my god. Show me where the fucking coffee thermoses. I need some fucking supplies, bro.
This is it, Wake. The last stand.
We are going to get that fucking thermos. This thermos is mine! Yes! I love coffee almost as much as I love lamp. And look what he uh-oh.
Barry the killer.
Sound design is stupendous. But we should also look at some identifying features of a good game. Identifying features. Knack for winning contests. What? Like, did they source their doctors from the NFL?
How do you feel, Mr. Wake? Any nausea, disorientation, anything like that? Mr. Wake, how are you feeling?
I'm okay. My head's fine.
Take it easy for a couple of days.
That's a bingo.
Yeah, this game's kind of a mess. There's some good parts of it. Overall, I'd say you're good to pass, but if it's a group horror you enjoy, maybe it's a good fit. That's it for the first two review. Peace out.
Oh, hey, oh my. Take it easy.